Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to another live stream. It's going to be a chill one today. A chill Easter live stream. Probably going to be about two and a bit hours long, maybe only 2 hours long. And it's going to be kind of a dry one today. I'm going to be cleaning up some keyframes and maybe creating a couple of in-betweens for a monster shot. A real big boy of a shot. One I've actually been putting off for the whole cartoon. I've got 2 shots left now that need animating, and I've been putting this one off for a long time. And you'll see why. There's a lot of drawings. But let me say hello to the people in the audience. Hello to Onion. Don't know what your... I can't say your name because it's an O with a line through it. Hello, Special Fish. Simon. Hey, Big Texas Tony. Hey, Naughty Tunes. Hey, Jacob Tucker. Terranium. Shucharu, check out Shucharu's channel. Shucharu is a brilliant animator I've worked with before. Really talented guy. He's made a lot of cool stuff. A lot of the Starbomb music videos. Hey Robo! Hey Sam Gay! Hey Beanlight! Hello Beanlight, also another talented artist, as is Sam Gay. A lot of people in the chat tend to be artists and animators, so I'm not going to give you all a big name check. Hello Harry Ashfield, my good friend Harry Ashfield, and Rob L. Crisp, and everyone else. So, hello. If I sound a bit hoarse today, that is because I was voicing Killgar the last couple of days, and so I'm not sick, I'm fine. I sound a little bit hoarse because I was screaming at the top of my lungs. Actually getting this line today, I got this one in earlier today, and this is the shot that I'm animating. It's technically the last shot of the whole cartoon, so it's a complete spoiler. I'll be honest. And I'm going to try cleaning it up today for about the next 2 hours. I'm not going to get very much done, and I don't think it's going to be a very thrilling live stream, personally. But happy Easter to any of you that celebrate. I'm celebrating in a hedonistic sense. I'm going to be eating chocolate after the stream. But I'll be here for the next 2 hours, getting some cleanup done, working on the first part. How long is this shot going to be? 12 seconds. That might not sound like a long time, but in frame-by-frame animation with complicated-looking characters, it's a lot. So I need Killgar kind of...
Would you please stop harassing this sweet young lady and allow her to continue her honest work in peace?
I don't know if you heard that, but Killgar says, "Will you please stop harassing this sweet young lady, allow her to continue her honest work in peace," which is not in keeping with Killgar's character, obviously, but that's kind of the joke, and it's a funny end to the cartoon. So these are some of the drawings I've been doing today. I've scheduled 2 days to do this shot, and there's no way in hell it's going to be done in 2 days, but we'll get what we can do done today. I managed all of these drawings today, and there's quite a bit of reuse. You can see these 3 X's are to try and remind me, don't color this frame, because it's copied and pasted. There's a bunch of copied and pasted frames. This one here is going to get copied again here. And then this one is a one-off that I still need to draw, and then we're going to do this big kind of over-the-top apology down into this position here. These are still keyframes. These are not even the in-between frames. I'm going to try to... I might make a few in-between frames today on the live stream, but I'll try and kind of copy and paste a lot of what we've already drawn, because I don't just want to... This is kind of a shot that could take a week, honestly, if I didn't find shortcuts. So let's clean these drawings up a little bit. That's a nice clean one. I'll have a little bit of my coffee before I start and say hello and a happy Easter to... Who else we got? We've got Felix, Savion, Hyper Wizard, and Jacob Tucker again. Jacob says, "I'll be going shopping this afternoon. As part of it, going to get myself a Cadbury cream egg." Yeah, man, I didn't go for the Cadbury cream egg. I let Joyce pick out. I think it's a lint egg. It's got a dinosaur in it because she's 5. She wanted the dinosaur egg. No, Joyce is my wife. She's not really 5. She's mentally a little bit older than that, maybe 12. Yeah, happy Easter to everybody. And let's do some boring in-betweens while my throat suffers from all the screaming voice acting that I did today. I am not sick. I'll repeat that one more time. I feel very well. Just have a sore throat from all the screaming. Okay, so we're going to have Killgar come down in a big kind of grandiose swoop. Like so. I had some guys come and install a new boiler in my house last week, and the guy came in my office and saw all the like toys and comics and shit, and he goes, "Oh, you like your superheroes then?" And I got the chills of just embarrassment because I have goofy stuff in my office that makes me look like I'm a bit of a man-child, but I feel like a lot of it is relevant to my work, and I couldn't help it. I yanked out the comic, the graphic novel, and said, "Well, you know, I do kind of do this stuff for a living," and I showed him that. Not as a flex, but just to say, "Look, hey man, hey, I'm not just Chris Chan, okay?" But I think he seemed interesting in what I was doing, because while he was installing a thermostat, and he kept looking over his shoulder at the animation, probably because I was just clicking the little button on the Cintiq, just tapping it constantly like I'm doing now. Every time we go back and forth between the frames, it's a little clicking sound, which maybe it was just annoying him. He might have just been annoyed by it, but it's a necessary thing for me to see kind of where I'm at with the animation and keep it relatively on model. Don't always need to do it. I probably do it too much. I go a lot faster if I don't do it. Maybe we could try that, honestly, in a bit as a bit of an experiment, see how off model things get. It's little things like the spikes of fur there, you know, I sort of, if it's not in the rough, I kind of forget how many spikes I've drawn and which, you know, are they big, are they little spikes, are they all even? So, alright, well, that cape's got a bit more parallel there. Tyler, hey Tyler, happy Easter to you. Sam Gay says, have you seen the Gaslight District pilot? No, I've seen people talking about it, but I didn't watch it. Shucharu said, you are a bit sick making that shot last 12 seconds. Dude, I have a shot coming up that is probably the same length, but it's just constant action. It's the last shot I'm going to be doing in the whole cartoon, at least the last shot, you know, that has animation involved that I haven't done yet. And it's probably got about 30 characters running around in it. Maybe not 30, that's probably a lie. I'd say 12. Maybe a 12-second shot with about 12 enemies getting killed. So it's gonna destroy me. But we got to do this one first. Hey, the Magma Muncher. How you doing, Magma? Magma says, can't stay, Harry, at the girlfriend's parents. But happy Easter. Hey, happy Easter to you too, Magma. Eat a chocolate bunny rabbit for me and for your girlfriend. Do it for her. Do it for her. Hey, Mage Burger. Mage Burger says, Gaslight District pilot is out. Yeah, go and watch it. Go and watch it now, Mage Burger. It's going to be better than this dry old stream of me clicking and drawing. Alright. Alright, let's draw this hand without referencing any prior frames, because really shouldn't need to do that. It almost just sort of develops into a nervous twitch where I'm tapping back and forth on the Cintiq buttons to see the previous frame. Oh, shouldn't have done it there, but I did. Oh, that was a funky looking finger, Harry. And bring that arm around there. This is all I'm going to be doing today. Well, today and tomorrow and maybe the day after that. Although I scheduled that this shot would take me 2 days. That's wishful thinking. Real wishful thinking. I don't think it's going to take me. I think it's a 4-day shot. Maybe a week if I'm being very lazy. But we can get it done in less time, I think. I just drew his nose there and abandoned it. I don't know why. Okay, Hogstrong, I'm going to have to reference the previous frame to draw Hogstrong here. To draw Hogstrong here, because I'm just like trying to remember how I drew the wrinkles on the eyes. He's starting to go a bit wall-eyed. Basically, he's getting pushed away and then pulled in. Because Killgar's doing this big, over-the-top theatrical apology. And he should be like that. And like this. It's always a pain when you have two characters interacting and animating together. It's a real drag. It is a drag, literally, to animate these two because he's dragging Hogstrong around. But no, it's just tough, man. It might have made more sense to put Hogstrong on another layer, but I have a thing about not wanting too many layers. I feel like I don't have a good IQ for that kind of thing. I get frustrated when I have to sort of maintain, I don't know how you describe it, just the sort of awareness, almost like the spatial awareness of how many layers and what stuff's on what layer. I just want to keep it simple, and if you kind of draw things in fewer layers, it's a little easier for me to remember what the heck I'm doing. Okay, so we got his... This is the furthest he goes before he gets pulled, so you can have things start to settle. And have that ponytail coming out. And we see what folks is saying in the chat. What up? What up, Delaxia? How you doing, Delaxia? Mageburger says, Gaslight District Pilot will be there tomorrow. Harry Partridge live stream will not be live tomorrow. I mean, it might be. But yeah, very good. Good point. Good temporal reasoning. Delaxia says, hey, Harry, have you had the chance to watch the Daredevil show? I will say, as a general rule, anytime anybody asks me if I've watched anything, the answer is no. I've watched Magnum P.I. recently. That's been the thing that I've been watching in the only time that I watch anything these days. Literally anything. I wake up, guys. I wake up. I may go out, may go to the gym. I come home and work. If I watch something over lunch, it'll be for 15 minutes with Joyce. And there's a couple YouTube channels that we like to watch, but they're only like 15-minute videos typically. And then in the evening, either we'll watch an old episode of a 40-year-old TV show like Magnum P.I., or if it's my pick, it'll be a movie from the 80s or 90s. Occasionally, we'll go with like another decade. We'll watch a movie from the 30s or 40s. But yeah, not a lot of... I'm trying to figure out... Oh, that's the cape there. Okay, so... Yeah, not a lot of new stuff getting watched. It's so boring. I know, it's so boring to say, no, I haven't seen that, But it's the reality. Hey, Terranium, congrats on being paid to draw giant robots. That is, that's an excellent employment opportunity. I hope that you got paid well. I'll check out the work later on if you've posted it on the Discord, alright? Okay, so we've got his hand coming around here, like this. There we go. Hey, Noche, or Nos, Savian says, I love how each episode is considered by fans to be the worst one ever, and I just... Is this a Daredevil show? Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, if that's what you're talking about there, Savian. Mageburger says, I still haven't seen Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, and they're behind on popular media as well. Yeah, I'm very behind. I mean, I will go to the movies maybe 2 or 3 times a year to see a new thing. It's usually with other people, like what they want to see. I'm kind of done with the Marvel films. I've not been, I've not been keeping up with them. I think, what was the last one I saw in a cinema? Was it Spider-Man Far From Home? No, No Way Home? I think it was Spider-Man No Way Home was the last Marvel film I saw. And, yeah, what was it before that? Oh, Beetlejuice I watched last year. Beetlejuice. Which man, it wasn't good. It was not good, but I kind of I vibed with it at a certain point. I was not liking it early on, and then finally, when they started doing a little bit more of the Afterlife stuff, and we got a little bit more of Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, I thought, damn it, like I really like his performance, and I really like him as that character, and even though I hate 90% of the other stuff in the movie, I'm just sort of enjoying his scenes enough that I'm still having a pretty good time, so I was redeemed. To the point that when they announced there's going to be a third one last week, I thought, well, you know what? I will be there. Oh yeah, there was a new Ghostbusters movie last year too. I did not like that one at all. I've hated I've hated every Ghostbusters movie they've made since Ghostbusters 2. I don't like any of them, but I will be on board for another Beetlejuice film, as sad as it is to admit. I know, I should be watching Daredevil and not Beetlejuice 3, but it's how we're at. Kid Gabula! Hey, Kid Gabula. Kid Gabula says, looking forward to the new Captain Wexford film. Oh, the Chris O'Neill Captain Wexford film he's directing. Yeah. Who's going to play Captain Wexford? It's got to be Chris O'Neill, surely. He's the only one that can do it justice. Do the role. Okay. His arms pushing him out like that. The shape of the arm totally changes across those two frames. Let's try and keep it going so it doesn't look... And we want Hogstrong's little hand flapping around here. Like so. So I should have done... I've only got these few drawings done today on this shot, and it should have been triple that, really. I did some other things. I went out and I saw my family briefly, and went for a walk this morning. But I should have done more. I've mostly had an empty day without any kind of obligations, and I should have done a lot more on this shot so far today. And at 2 points today, I went and laid in the bed because I just didn't want to do all this drawing, and I was just thinking there's no way out. I have no way out. And I often think about this. For some reason, I look at all the work I've got to do and I don't start it. I go, there's got to be a way around all of that work. That looks like too much work. And I waste time not doing the work, kind of strategizing or mentally preparing myself to do the work. And if I was just mentally tougher and just started the work, it would take me less time because I wouldn't spend so much time dilly-dallying. But I dillied and dallied today. I both dillied and dallied. And went and laid in the bed for a little bit. And came back when I realized there is no way out. And I thought about that song by Jefferson Starship. I don't know if you know it, but it goes, it's about a guy that's cheated on his wife and he feeds her a BS story as to where he's been. And his wife just doesn't believe it. And it goes, no way out. She doesn't buy my story. And I was just singing that to myself. He has no way out. I have a little mantra that I've repeated many occasions, which is, if the pen ain't scratching, the dreams aren't hatching. Apt today. Apt for Easter, because Easter is, of course, an egg-based day. Things hatch on Easter, or at least thematically they can. And yeah, I got dreams, I got ambitions and stuff I want to do, and I can't not draw for a day. I can't take off half a day. That's ridiculous. If I've got the energy and the time to be drawing, and I got a project that needs doing, it's got to get done. All right, let's see. Hey, Tony Ruby has come by. Tony Ruby says, keeping you playing in the background while I wait. Yeah, this is not a stream. And thank you everyone for being here, but this is not a stream you need to focus on. This is Harry with a hoarse voice from voice acting doing in-betweens. All right, I'd say it's barely a live stream. I don't know if it certainly doesn't qualify as entertainment. It's barely a stream. It's barely there's barely a refresh rate changing the image on the screen. Noach says, Noach, how am I saying your name? Did you tell me? Let me scroll up. Hello. No, you didn't tell me how I say your name yet. I really liked that VA you got to portray the Grease girl from the announcement you did for your comic. Yeah, that's Sheila did that, and you can find her on Twitter. She'll be in the credits. Let me see. What else has she worked on? She was in Starbarians 3.5 as the Gorgon Queen and the Gorgon Girl, and she's credited in that one. Sheila Lynn, her name is, and she was also in she was in the Pokemon cartoon, but very briefly. I actually had a different actress come in and do a lot of the lines that she originally recorded, not because she did a bad job, but her recording setup wasn't quite professional enough at that point. Now she's got a much better setup, so I will work with her again. She will be in Starbarians episode 4. She's not in this cartoon, the one I'm working on now, but she is going to be in Starbarians episode 4 heavily. She plays actually a bunch of characters in that. She's really good, Sheila. Hey Dark Knight, hey Large Lump, hey Killer Quality, if I've said hello to you yet. You can pronounce it as Noise. All right, easy to remember. Okay, Noise. I'll call you Noise. Hey, Coolio. Tony Ruby says, Def have too much work. If that's you, Tony, I'm sorry to hear it. If you're talking about my situation, I agree. I do have too much work. All right, this is, look at his, man, his hips are totally broken in this, in this shot here, for this frame. He looks like a weird horse with a big butt. Okay. And I want that cape to be beginning to kind of follow behind. Use that cutter tool to cut some shapes. I'm so very sorry. That's basically what he's doing. So we really are kind of pushing it quite far out on this one. Like if we zoom out, you can see it's really exaggerated. It's not. I mean, it's not that crazy, but it's. I think I'm a little bit conservative as an animator. You know what? I will talk about a little bit later on. I've been on a big Egoraptor kick lately. Been looking at all the old Egoraptor cartoons. I love some of them so much. I've mentioned it before, but Awesome Reach. It's one of my favorites. But there's some that I forget, you know, that I haven't seen for, like the PC versus console one is really funny. And I forget how mad some of that animation is. It's like, it's so crazy looking. The eyes taking on weird shapes and limbs coming off and stuff. And it's good. I think in my old age, I want to get less conservative as an animator and actually get goofier and go more over the top and less reined in. I don't think that this cartoon is too conservative, but in a few places the animation is a bit. There's a couple of shots. I'll tell you what it is, man. It's when, no disrespect to cleanup animators, but when you get a cleanup animator to take your roughs, they tend to, you know, and as they should do, they do a kind of a perfunctory sort of job, a functional job of taking the drawings and tidying them up. And sometimes, if I was to do that, I would try and sneak in a few goofy faces and goofy drawings and stuff. Maybe try and give it a bit more snap. And understandably, when you're hiring people to work as a cleanup artist, they're not necessarily gonna try and sneak stuff in like that. But I think it's fun. Okay, so his neck is kind of doing this sort of thing. I guess just a big curve like that. Let's get rid. I don't like that line there. Let's make the eyes really big and pretty looking. This little coochie mouth. There's a little ooh, so sorry. And stick a little headdress diamond on him, whatever it is, that stupid thing he wears, a little head guard. Harry Ashfield says, I miss his animation work. I know, man, I miss it too. But I'm just thankful that the stuff we have, and we have it forever, hopefully, unless the internet, you know, fries itself one day. But yeah, I love it. Terranium said, you watch Flashkit stuff when you can? I mean, I've seen a lot of Flashkit stuff because I've done things with, you know, I worked on some Flashkit stuff. I did some animation for them on one of their Space Marine cartoons, and I even did some writing with them on a thing, a Doom cartoon. So yeah, I keep up with them pretty well because, you know, because I talk with them and I've worked with them. Delaxia says, shots with characters interacting with each other. But yeah, I was talking about this earlier, Delaxia. I hate it, man. Anytime characters are touching each other in a shot, if it's like a, you know, an intense, meaningful action, they're not just prodding each other, but they're actually pulling each other around. So basically what happens in this shot is Killgar grabs Hogstrong and sticks him under his arm, which I think will be funny. Although I did this, and then I realized, continuity-wise, Hogstrong has his axe weapon on his back, so I've got a hint at that under the back, and it's gonna be sticking out somewhere there. It's gonna look stupid. I'm annoyed that I care about continuity that much. Killgar has his sword on his back too, and you just have to just hint at it, like just kind of look, just occasionally, just sort of show the the pommel or whatever sticking out over his back, and figure out that it's mostly hidden. It's only when it's actually sticking out at an angle that you'd see the other end of it, the tip of it. But yeah, I hate that. I guess you'd sort of see it here, but if he's just flashing forward, I don't think I need to. Kind of worry about the continuity. It's just that if a character's in a holding sort of position for a few seconds, you want to actually make sure you get a chance to remind people that there's a weapon on their back. But it never helps with the silhouettes and the posing. It's always a pain. Noise says, get someone that can make a mouth like Killgar. I hate it because I always want to draw mouths when I'm animating, but it's always when I come to the lip sync that I end up the timing is slightly off and I have to change all the mouths. I hate that because a mouth is so important to the shape of the face, like here, he's got a long mouth, so you could really push the face. But if it actually happens that at this moment he's supposed to be doing this, then you're left with this giant freakish chin. Or if he's doing a little ooh, you got a big chin. I suppose you could push the ooh mouth down there. But yeah, I really, it's nice when you have the time to incorporate the mouth into the animation from the beginning. But a lot of the time when I'm using holds and things, I just have the mouths missing and have and do the lip sync later on. And there's a little cuff there. Just hint at that elbow joint there. Oop, no, come on, we gotta show a bit more of the shoulder. There's other bits of pieces like his little ear. Actually, I guess I left it off on this frame, that stupid ear thing, so I'll keep it off here. Alright, that's starting to... Now, obviously there needs to be some in-betweens between these two positions, because this is the one that we're going to hold for a little while. If we go to the animatic, you can see...
I humbly extend my sincerest apologies to you, ma'am. Extend my sincerest...
Yeah, so you don't just want two in-betweens to get down there. We want at least... we want double that. You really want 5, 6, probably. Oh, bother. That's a lot of drawing. That's all I've been dealing with today, is just a lot of drawing on a 12-second shot. And there's a lot of pencil mileage, a lot of butt time. Combat is exactly that kind of annoying action to animate. Actually, I love animating combat, Terranium, because it's fast. It's slower animation, slower actions that are really tricky to do. Savian says, craziest thing about... Oh, what you're going to say about Egoraptor is how good he is at animation. Yes, he's really good, man. He's really good. He's really, really damn good, and he's great at voice acting, great comedic timing. A guy has got a hell of a lot of talent. All right, let's draw this frame in, and then maybe see if I can do a couple in-betweens or something. Get this. It'd be nice if we could get this action smoothed out today, because all of this stuff here, all of this back and forth, I don't know if I feel like that. I don't know if I want to do that, but we can do this. We can get that, because that should, it needs a big middle frame where his arm's like, before it comes down. So, and obviously Hogstrong goes from over here to over here, so he teleports. We want to get him gracefully across the screen. Oh boy. If Harry can draw a circle, thing is, this is the two issues. If you have very low smoothing, you can get nice little kinky lines that have, a nice sort of shape to them. But if you try and draw a circle, it's sort of a bit lumpy, If you go with a high amount of smoothing, you can get nice, big, smooth kind of, you get really graceful curves. But all your kinky lines get compromised by the smoothing. So we'll go back to 9. We'll have low smoothing because that looks better. 1 second, guys. Gonna let some air in here. Aaron Hansen. Alright. Terranium says combat. Oh, sorry. That's I already read that, Terranium. Sorry, buddy. Don't want to address your comments twice. No, Noise says, how was your experience working on Smiling Friends? Well, it depends what you mean. If it was the voice acting, it's fun. Really fun and easy, and it pays well. Basically, perfect job to have. Can bang it out in an hour, and people seem to be more impressed by having a voice in a cartoon than anything else. So my family, my mum and stuff is like, oh, nice. I think she likes hearing about those opportunities because I'm getting paid well too. And yeah, like I said, it pays real good. So that was lovely. The animation stuff that I did on MIP, that was grueling. I had a really great team of people around me to help out. But I think originally it was only I feel like maybe it was 4 weeks to do it. And I think we ended up taking 6 weeks. We didn't, obviously the show came out. It's not like we fluffed the deadline that hard, but we had to push it. They would have liked, I think, a little bit more time to maybe, I think they edited some of what we did and just like changed a few, I think it was the lip sync they tweaked in a few places. And maybe they would have liked more time to do that, but we didn't give it to them because we handed that thing in probably pretty last minute. That was grueling. It was really grueling. I've talked about it before on streams. I feel like, the last couple of days, the team kind of, and there wasn't very much money too for paying people. I don't think that's a secret. The budget for Smiling Friends, at least that first season, was low. And it's remarkable what they did with the budget. But I think we helped. I think we helped raise the value of the show, given that we were not paid, what you would pay a full studio for 6 weeks. And I think we delivered on what a studio might get for 6 weeks, or a studio might deliver. But it was tough. Very relaxing post kind of de-stressing time from that. Although when I sent the work off, I really expected that they'd come back and want revisions. So I was kind of, I was enjoying it through kind of white knuckles for a few days. I was gritting my teeth, and it was so good when Zach was just like, it's good, thank you. Oh no, he wasn't. He was much more thankful than that, but he was, when they were really happy with it and didn't need revisions, it was a great big sigh of relief. I want Hogstrong's hair to look better here. I just feel like it's not appealing, that shape. That's fine. It's fine. And he's got his cape hanging down there. I guess a little bit too of his body as he's being sort of almost pulled over. Hey, it's Comic Tropes Chris in the house. Hey Chris, how you doing? If you like comic videos, everyone, check out Chris's channel. I usually give a big fanfare for friends and people turning up in the chat, but I'm low energy today because I'm tired. You can hear my voice is tired because I've been voicing and shouting, but big shout out to, in spirit, a big shout out to Chris. Happy Easter, Chris. Chris says, happy Easter, pal. I hope you got to eat 33 Easter eggs. Is that some sort of code for something? Yeah, actually, I probably did eat 33 eggs because we've been getting these bags of mini eggs lately, so it's probably added up to more than 33. Kockenheimer, hey Kockenheimer. Kockenheimer says, I missed the start of the stream. You didn't miss anything, Kockenheimer, trust me. Keshi HD says, I just bought your new comic book. Hey, your exaggeration in art style, poses, and character designs is impressive and inspiring. Thank you, Keshi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for buying the comic. It's currently not available. The campaign is closed right now, but it should be available, I'm hoping, in the next couple of weeks in a different place. So I'm going to try and get it moved over. Literally, the stock moved to a new warehouse and listed, but right now I'm only dealing with problem orders and things that haven't arrived on time or whatever. I'm not dealing with selling any new copies right now. Comic Trope says you're too kind. I agree. I am, Chris, you bastard. No, you're not. You're a lovely man. We love Chris. Al and Alice say, hey, Harry. Hey, Al and Alice. I'm addressing both of you right now. Hello, Evo Dolka. Happy Easter to you as well. Owen Terranium says digital copies are available on Patreon. They are, but I wish they were formatted better. Right now it's in I'm not doing a good job of selling it, but it's listed right now as like a image sequence, and it would be more readable as a PDF. But I thought that's just piracy city. It's going to be so easy to download and pirate it if it's a PDF. So I might relist it as a PDF. Once I should probably do that, because I don't want people to have a bad time reading it on the Patreon. But you're right, it is on the Patreon, and it will stay on the Patreon for anyone that wants to get it or check it out. I'm thinking about, too, doing some tutorials later this year for folks that they'll be, in a similar fashion, they'll be available to buy on their own, but people on the Patreon will get them for no extra cost. So, it's something that people have asked for a while now, and I like money. I find that it does tend to make things a lot easier to have a little bit liquid capital floating around, so that I can buy action figures and noodles, and pay informants and that kind of thing. Hey, Blue Jay! Blue Jay was another customer that bought the comic. Blue Jay says, even though I got all the progress updates, I still wasn't prepared for how great this comic looks in person. Blue Jay, you flatter me. It's a bit claustrophobic in places. It's a little bit overstuffed. I didn't make enough use of negative space and margins. I was just cramming everything. I wrote too much story. I wrote 150 pages of story, I think, and I had a job forcing it into 100 pages. But thank you, Mr. Blue Jay, and thank you for buying the book, and thank you for saying you liked the book. Harry, did you ever watch the TV show Bottom? Asks Connor Pittman. Yes, I did, actually. I liked it a lot when I was a kid. I was showing some clips of it to Joyce, my American wife, because she wasn't familiar with Bottom. She doesn't even know who Rick Mail is, because she's a damn Yankee. Terranium says, you did release it as a PDF. Yeah, I did, but then I relisted it back as a PNG sequence. Terranium, I changed it. Comic Trope says, I think you should make the comic into the world's largest and most expensive pop-up book. Comic Tropes, I will do that. I'm going to make it into, as well, a novelty cake, very uncomfortable footwear, and an extremely ineffectual improvised weapon. Rutger Gullen says, Harry Partridge, alive. Any more plans on going on slightly artistic with Chris? Dude, I would do that in a heartbeat. It's Chris that is the gatekeeper there. Go bother Chris about that. Chris O'Neill on Only Plays. I love that man, and I love doing slightly artistic with him, but he's a busy boy. He's got lots on. In fact, he may have something on at the moment that I can't talk about, that I am involved in, maybe, but I can't talk about it. So I'll shut up. So yeah, I did do some stuff with Chris recently, but I can't say what exactly. Hey, Animated Taco! Animated Taco says, you have some great moments where you compress us into tight layouts. Oh, talking about the comic. Dude, thank you very much for that. It's much appreciated. Thank you for getting the comic and saying nice things, Scott. It's really cool, dude. Thank you. I'm waiting for the Pog set. Right. Any day now. No, I want to say I'm done with physical media that I have to fulfill. That was one of the hardest, most painful times of my... It's still kind of ongoing. I did not enjoy that. I didn't enjoy the physical side of the fulfillment. I want to say right now that if I draw another comic, it may stay unprinted for a few years and be digital only, which is, probably not what people want to hear, but... or work with a publisher, because I didn't enjoy that whatsoever. So, I hope you're all having a good day today. Much appreciate you coming by on my stream, because it's very dull. It's just me being croaky and drawing Killgar and Hogstrong 8,000 times. But that's honestly a lot of what my life is. It's being croaky and drawing Killgar and Hogstrong 8,000 times. I hope that if you celebrate Easter, that you got some good family time in. If not, some good spiritual time. Spiritual, you can tell I don't say that word very much. Some good spiritual time, and if not, you just got some good chocolatey fun in. That's more my style, more my speed, the chocolate thing. But I'm going to be enjoying that later tonight with Joyce. And I thought, honestly, that would be it. I thought we were supposed to be on a diet and there'd be no more chocolate. And she goes, no, what about all the reduced Easter eggs? It's like, it's just egg-shaped chocolate. We can buy chocolate any time of the year. But when there's, an excuse to buy chocolate or a reason to buy chocolate, it's very hard to resist. So I think I'm gonna give in there on that front. I think I'm gonna be weak and let her have her wicked chocolatey way with me. Geranium says, Harry, the fulfillment part of crowdfunding campaigns are universally the most difficult and frustrating part. It's why, yeah, it sucked, man. Well, I realize why people would outsource it, but it's very hard to budget how much it's going to be. I miscalculated on shipping, but that wasn't, not only, it was a small miscalculation for the most part, but it adds up with the number of orders, but was also overcharged as well, which is good that got caught and addressed, because if that hadn't been caught by me, if I'd outsourced it entirely, it wouldn't have been caught. So, got overcharged, made some personal errors myself. But two, you just don't expect... I just didn't realize that, you'd have to replace lost copies. I mean, I realized that, of course, but I didn't count on how many there would be that would never turn up. I ordered something from Etsy last week, and I got a notification yesterday saying it's arrived at my house. It's nowhere to be seen. It's not in the yard. It's not on the porch. Did it get stolen? Did it get lost? Is it still coming? I have no idea, and I wanted to contact the seller and be like, look, this thing said it arrived and it didn't, but having been on the receiving end of some of that lately, I cooled my heels and I thought, wait, just give it a few more days and be a good customer, because customer service is tough. My mum used to do it for a job, and any job you have dealing with customers, you eventually have to do some kind of deal with somebody who's got a complaint, and it's not fun, man. It's not fun when people are unwilling to give you the benefit of the doubt, I suppose. Arch Hippie says, hey, it's Harold. Hey, it's Arch Hippie. Comic Trope says, dude, please make more comics. Dorian Tales was... Thank you, Chris. Chris, I would love to, but I gotta make the monster movie first. I have to find a way to do that. My thinking is, make a few more animations to quiet people down, to shush them, and find a way to make my monster movie I want to make before I turn 40, ideally, which is in danger of happening very, very soon. And then, I'm not going to go into retirement, but I want to go into stability mode for a couple of years and do things in maybe a more predictable way. It's so stupid to say that I think that comics are more predictable. Anyone will tell you a creative career is unpredictable, but I feel like comics might be a little bit more of a stable thing for me to do in my 40s than animation. I don't know. I do not know. I really don't know. I love all these mediums. I wish I had 100 lives to lead. You only get one, unfortunately, and you gotta do something that you love if you possibly can, because we only get one life. And if you love hundreds of different things, you love hundreds of different art forms, and you have hundreds of ideas you want to express, then you really gotta get your butt in gear, as David Lynch would say, because time's a wasting. And we only get one life. Hey, Matsu Jackie says, ooh, Pigman. Referring to me, of course, not Hogstrong. Mega Pussy. I went to Finland once. They had a brand of potato crisp called Mega Pussy. He asked if I shipped the books myself. No, I didn't. I hired a company to do it, and it was still a giant pain in the bum. Anus Cancer. Hi, Anus Cancer, says, my Starbarians arrived without issue, thankfully. Well, dude, they should have been... It's a comic book. There should have been an issue in the package. So I'll have to replace that one for you. Connor Pittman says, the worst experience I've ever had with customer service is when the customer is rude and doesn't realize you're trying to help. Yeah, I know. One day a flight got cancelled. It was delayed for about 15 hours until finally they just said, look, it can't happen today. You have to come back the next day. And the shit, I was 14. I was 14 years old. I wasn't really old enough to argue with adults. But even as a 14-year-old, I was watching these adults give the lady at the info desk at the airport shit, and I just thought, what are you doing? She's not making decisions about the plane. She's not flying the plane. She's done nothing wrong other than, I don't think that they were giving us wrong information. I think they were giving us the most up-to-date information they had, and the info changed, And all these people were being a dick to her. And even as a little one, I thought, that won't be me when I'm older. I will, rather than speak my mind in a firm and angry way, I'll just use physical violence. And that was the day I decided to become a violent rubber band flicker who would flick people with rubber bands, which is the politest way to debate your ideas. But Harry, what if reincarnation is real? Says Dark Knight. I don't know what you're talking about, Dark Knight. I mean, I know what reincarnation is, but I don't think that's relevant right now. Matsu Jackie says, either way, glad to see it happened. Well, thank you, Matsu. I'll have to check, but I'm pretty sure I donated for a book under my dead name. So if you donate, on Indiegogo, if you donate, that's a trap. I wish they wouldn't have that, because that doesn't get logged as an ordering, right, of the book. It just gets logged as a donation, so I don't have an address, I don't have a phone number, I don't have anything I can use to deliver the book to, or through. So if you actually backed the book and it hasn't arrived yet, what you can do is email starbariantales@proton.me. Starbariantales@proton.me, and you can tell me your zip code, and I can Google, even though the shipping company doesn't keep names and info of anybody, they delete it after a couple of weeks, they do keep zip codes, so I can search up, did the order arrive, what's the tracking number. Everyone did get sent tracking number if they ordered the books, but unfortunately it was email, and a lot of people, stuff like tracking numbers and things that look like marketing stuff, it just gets to junk, and it gets deleted after 30 days. So people don't know they were sent their tracking number, and some people have been sent their tracking numbers and, it's been sitting in a depot somewhere waiting for them to collect it. Like the delivery, they weren't in or whatever, and then it sits in the depot for a month, and these people didn't know about it. So if I ever do it independently, I'm going to find a better system, because a lot of stuff kind of didn't pan out perfectly well. Oh, I need to get, this is not smooth enough. We need a smoother line. This is too wobbly. There we go, that's better. Alrighty, you can get that hair in there. A big curvy neck. Okay, so he's pulling Hogstrong in, and he's being all penitent and apologetic, which is out of character for Killgar. I'm going to take a break for literally 20 seconds, guys. I'm going to be coming, not even that, 10 seconds. I just got to check something out. And I'm back. All good. Alright. Harry Ashfield says, you went above and beyond to get my copy to me. I was very grateful. Dude, you've been above and beyond, Mr. Ashfield, in supporting my work. I've been pretty, not down on myself, but I've been thinking lately, really, I don't believe I don't make anything worth being excited for. Because things that are exciting for me are kind of, I get excited at the idea of, watching a movie, like sitting down and really okay, I can get into this. And a book is kind of like that. You can enjoy, the comic is something you can sit down with a coffee or something and actually get into it. But I feel like these little 2-minute, 3-minute cartoons that I've been making over the last couple of years, they're not anything worth being excited for. And I lament that. I really do wish that I could make work that was something that people could lose themselves in a little bit. I don't mean in terms of they forget all their problems. I mean they can really just chill out and enjoy something for a good period of time, an hour and a half or whatever, an evening. And the fact that I still get support from you, watching streams, supporting on Patreon if you do that, buying the comic. I'm talking about Harry Ashfield, but people in general too. The fact that people do that is surprising to me. And I've been thinking about, I'll do this maybe in the next week or so on Patreon. I'd like to know just what people want to see more of. It may not all be stuff that I can do. If someone says, I remember one guy on Patreon was like, he said, all I want is one Starbarians cartoon a month, and I cannot do that. It's impossible. I can maybe make a minute of Starbarians animation a month. Even if I doubled that, it wouldn't amount to anything like an episode a month. So I can't do that. So if I ask people what they'd like to see more of, it wouldn't necessarily be a thing I could do, but I'd be interested. Like, what do you actually want? And some people have asked for tutorials, and I'm thinking I'll do some of those this year. That's actually not a huge sink of my time, so that might be a thing I can give people and make it freely available on Patreon. I'm not making promises to try and get you to support on Patreon, by the way. Wait until they're out if that's something that you'd be looking for, because it could be months from now. But yeah, and some other ideas too. I'm even thinking, although this would be UK only, I'm thinking about a little event. Hosting a little event later in the year. So there'll be more on that, which obviously I'd come to, and there'd be some food and drinks and stuff, hopefully, and a chance to hang out and meet people. Anyway, Keshi says, especially the artwork can be enjoyed for years on end. I really I read the Black Sad comics all the time just to appreciate the artwork. That's great. I agree, yes, you can enjoy comics for years. Animated Taco said, I probably spent that much time going frame by frame on each one, honestly. Oh, that's cool, man, thank you. Terranium says, hey, can we sympathize way more than you can imagine? Trust me. I appreciate that. Harry Ashfield says, he's talking to Comic Tropes. One cartoon every 2 months. Yeah, okay, I actually thought this cartoon might be out in February. I was working on it hardcore then. And I did have to go away a little bit at the end of... Was it the end of March? But yeah, it didn't come out in March. Is not looking good for April. So, this hand, come on, we need to make this thing graceful. Graceful fingers, come on. There you go. They're a bit long, these fingers, but it helps the sort of, I don't know, the servile sort of nature of the pose if his fingers are all extended. He's like, I'm so very sorry. I don't know what the body's doing here. I guess we got the cape there. A little bit of the waist. I guess the legs are coming up high, and then the back is all bent over like that. That's gonna have to do the trick. It's funny sometimes when you draw a body in, just kind of hoping it'll work out, and then sometimes in animation you find out it actually doesn't. But I rarely change it. I just stick usually with whatever I've drawn because lazy. Alright now. Okay, so we've got our frames. Let's stick some in-betweens in this bad boy and get this to be nice and smooth. So he... talk. And then he comes up. So we're going to want an in-between there. Come on. We can probably cannibalize a lot of this frame here. These two, I think, are actually good with the spacing they've got. And then we're going to want a whole bunch-a-roo to be settling into this one. So let's draw the rough for that yet. And while I do that, I'll see what folks are saying in the chat. Matt Sujaki says, is there a place one could potentially purchase a Starbarians novel copy? Did you say you already backed it? I thought you said you already backed it on Indiegogo, because that is where it was. Right now, it's not available. Harry Ashfield says, aha, a live HP event would be the dream. Harry Ashfield, I did think about you when I was planning this, because I thought, well, because it's going to be in London, right? That's the most central part of the UK that I can easily get to that makes the most sense for me. I don't think it would be in the States, because then I'd have to fly over. I'm not saying I couldn't do one in the States, but I think a first-time event might have to be in London. And I thought, well, who would come? it might be like 3 people would come. That would be a complete waste of time. I thought Harry Ashfield might come. I've seen him before in London. I did a Google thing a few years ago, like a little weird Google talk. I don't know what it was such a weird... Google just said, come and talk about YouTube at this YouTube... I think it was a YouTube space. And I didn't know what to expect. And I arrived, and I think I was talking about animation, my channel. And then started fielding some questions. And this one guy was just like, who's the most famous person you've ever met? And I thought, oh, I don't actually think a lot of these people care about animation particularly. They're just here because it was, I guess they come every week maybe if they live in London. They just see whoever the YouTuber of the week is. But I did meet Harry Ashfield at that event, which was cool. So I met him in person. I met a few of these folks in person. I met Animated Taco in person at Pico Day. Hey, Dylan Wilson says, I'll be there. Hey, thank you. Well, maybe we could get a London crew together. We could go and Guy Fawkes the Houses of Parliament or something. Right, let's get this. So he's yanking Hogstrong away. I am joking, of course. About terrorist activities in London, I wouldn't be partaking in any of those. Not after last time. Right. So he's yanking the Pigman. And okay, like so. Okie dokie. So we want that hand to be. This is the quality of rough drawing that you get from me, folks, on a live stream. We'll try and make it work, okay? Oop. Oh, no. We'll hold that drawing for a while so we get a sense of the timing. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Alright, can Harry clean this up without it looking like the worst thing ever? Remains to be seen. I will do my best. Pleasant Lee said, what happened, Harry? You used to be cool. Thank you, Pleasant Lee. Matsu Jackie says, still waiting for the Starbarians live action remake. That would be very tough to do, I think. King N64 said, that's what I see with KC. Green and Zach Stafford do. I don't know what that means. Northy Toon says, Harry, how do you decide to use Toon Boom over Adobe Animate? I am using both. Okay, that's my secret, Cap. I've always used both because I don't quite understand how Harmony works, but I realize it has superior drawing tools. So I do all my planning in Adobe Animate, and then just do the drawing part, the cleanup and stuff in Toon Boom Harmony.
I humbly extend my sincerest apologies to you, Matt. Extend my sincerest apologies to you, Matt.
Okay, so there you go. That's the action where he's apologizing, and I'm gonna try and get this action. Let me see, how much time do we have today? I think I at least have another hour. See if I can get this part of the action just to look nice. That would be good for the stream. So we've got a Hogstrong ear. This is where I'm going to have to flip back and forth between the drawings a lot because it's trying to keep the sort of proportions kind of together. Gotta make him look like a little bit wall-eyed and just a little bit sort of lost because he's going, oh, I'm being pulled. Certainly today, because I always do, whenever I voice the guys, I do try and do Hogstrong first before my voice gets tired, because he's supposed to sound a bit fresher and a bit younger. and then once that's like I've started to chip away at my level of sort of, I don't know, vocal clarity, I can start to do the gravelly Killgar stuff. And I'm just getting old. I'm finding Killgar is still kind of fun and easy to do, but the thought of recasting Hogstrong has appealed to me, has occurred to me, has appealed to me too. That may have. I think it's not going to happen for another 5 years probably, but I could see when I'm like in my mid-40s, I could see just finding some young whippersnapper to do the pig, because it's too much. It's too much on me. I'm not Frank Welker. I'm more like an actual Welk named Frank. Tyler says, I'd see a Starbarians live action remake. You know, I was actually talking to somebody about trying to do a live action Killgar a few years back for a video that I would play. So I look nothing like Killgar, so it would be a lot of prosthetics, prosthetic chin and fake muscles. I just had no faith that it was going to look any good. I thought this is going to look like crap. It's the kind of thing that would be amazing if you spent, you know, thousands of dollars on it. Big armor and big prosthetic muscles and a huge fake chin. I would love to do that. Even if I have to sit there in makeup for 9 hours, I'd do it. But it's the kind of thing, if you did on the cheap, it could look very scary. Comic Trope says, hit the like button. It'll share Harry's videos to more people. Chris, bless your heart. Bless your heart and your cotton socks. This stuff is not content that's going to spread, though. It's grey, a grey screen with occasional black lines being etched into it very slowly over a 2-hour period. This is not Mr. Beast, but appreciate you, Chris, and thank you to anybody that does give that like button a little molestation. Much appreciated. YouTube will spare me my punishments. Tiltro said Tom Holland as Killgar. Of course Tom Holland as Killgar. Always Tom Holland as every character. Except for Spider-Man, of course. Kashi says you need some Skillgar to voice Killgar. I'm always going to voice Killgar until the day I die. I find it fun. Matsujaki says if they can pull off Jonathan Freeman as Jafar on the Broadway play, anything's possible. Yeah, that kind of thing. Heavy prosthetics. But I'm a big fan of them. Geranium says it'd be funny for a quick 10-second gag that you just get cheap muscles. Yeah, it's maybe if it was done cheaply. Comic Trope says too humble. I am the most humble person ever. I'm so humble. No one is more humble than me, Comic Tropes. Alright? So don't get any ideas. Alright, let's get this pig drawn. Pig rendering must commence. It's Easter, the day of drawing pigs. And just kind of assuming where the hand will be. Something like that. Can't even see his hand over here. It's got the bloody boxes in front of it. Alrighty. Tiltro says, I love grey screen with drawings. Yeah, that's what it is. It's what it is, man. It's not... I wish it was me playing Fortnite, but that's not what gets cartoons made. Unfortunately. It's more grey etchings and mumblings is what I can offer you. It's what I can provide. A little bit of etching and mumbling. If you're in the market for that, fantastic. If not, please move on down the bazaar to the next trader. Pleasant Lee says, finding pig eggs in the garden. Oh man, I think I stepped in a pig egg earlier. Okay. Let's see. This arm will be doing something like that. And Hogstrong is going to be being pulled, so his ponytail is getting kind of yanked away. It's dragging a bit, and his cape is going to be dragging. What's that song? Anyone ever watched the Double Dragon cartoon? Humble Never... Oh man, the rhymes in that intro. It's a terrible show, by the way. I actually have some animation stills from it, but... It's fun. It's like fight of the dragon. The dragon. And they rhyme dragon with bragging. Humble, never bragging. They dropped the G. It's good. It's good stuff. And the film, oh man, the film is. If you want to watch a corny film, if the Street Fighter movie film with Jean-Claude Van Damme is too hard hitting and heavy for you, if you want some fluff, try the Double Dragon movie starring Alyssa Milano, who I thought was a teenager in it, but she is. She's a bit older than I thought she was, and she looks good in it. Everyone looks good in it. Robert Patrick has bleach blonde hair. It's great. It's a good time. The Double Dragon movie. Give it a blast. Comic Tropes says, I gotta help organize the house for Easter. You take care, Chris. Everyone check out Comic Tropes if you're into comic art, history, comic art, and comic history. Check out Comic Tropes. It's a good time to be had. Animated Taco said, of course I watched Double Dragon. Yeah. The show or the movie or both. Kimi Omega, I didn't say hi to you yet. I like the grey screen with occasional lines on it. It's what I can provide. Any kind, I can make the screen, I think, any color I want, although I don't even know how to do that in Harmony. But the occasional lines are going to remain, because that's all I got. That's all I got. Alright. Alright. Where's that? It's got his other little hair thing. I don't know where his other arm is. I guess it's... I just stopped drawing his other arm. Jeez. Okay. Alright, and he's getting pulled here. This Hogsman doesn't have... Oh, yeah, and he's got his weapon. Jeez. Can I just copy and paste it? I don't want to keep drawing that stupid thing. Alright. You're going to see some more copying and pasting from me as I get older, because it's necessary, I think. Necessary to get anything done. And... Okay, that's fine. By the way, I was telling Joyce yesterday about Animated Taco, who's in the chat, worked on the latest Slave Zero game. I think it's called Slave Zero X. I haven't played it beyond the demo, but I will say he did some artwork for it and some sprites, and they are stellar. It is a great looking game, but traditional kind of retro-inspired sprites, but they're really big and they're really sexy looking, and it's a great looking game. So if you're into retro games and you wanna check out a good looking one, look at Slave Zero X, which Animated Taco worked on. Karkenheimer said, copy and paste my beloved. Matsujaki said, I found copying and pasting for keyframes, but drawing in betweens from scratch being pretty seamless. Yeah, that's probably a pretty good result. I will say, although for me, I tend to do the complete opposite. Now I've said that, I'm going, yeah, that's good. You know what I do? Not that at all. I do the complete opposite. I draw, I think, keyframes, and then sort of smooth in and out of keyframes, I will do a little bit of copying and pasting. You can hear my voice is shot today. Sorry about that, folks. I have explained already, but I'm not ill. I'm not ill. I just growled in Killgar's voice for an hour this morning, and it always does a number on me, because you can tell I'm not a pro voice actor that's got... I haven't really built up a tolerance to it. Let's get to fix that wonk eye. He's got a wonky eye, which we don't want. Now we can bring back that little antenna or whatever it is that sticks out of his ears. Alrighty. bring that big fat neck in there. Like my big fat neck. Just like Killgar physically. Okay. And this hand, I don't think we need to reference this hand from anywhere because it's kind of its own little thing. It's nothing like this other hand. We want it to really wrap around because it's sort of finishing that arc, that curve from where it came from. So we really want to, fingers are a bit Homer Simpson, a little bit Homery. But there's a bad Homer voice. I thought I could do it better than that. I risked it and it came out like that. Yeah, so there's the Simpson-y fingers, but in motion, you're gonna be okay with that, I think. I don't think it's gonna be too noticeable. And we want to just bring that arm in there. There we go. And his little nipple.
You've got a tiny nipple. You forgot to draw it.
Killer Quality said, I've had that one sitting on my wish list for a while. Yeah, Slave Zero, if we're talking about that. Animated Taco said, I had a blast on that game. Thanks for the shout out on it. Yeah, I know you don't profit necessarily from me giving it a shout out, but I do think people should check out Animated Taco's work if you can. I forget if you have anything on your channel, Animated Taco. Do you... Hey, we should talk about this privately, but I have been thinking lately about game development. I don't know how connected you are in that world. I know it's a lot of work, but I think a point and click would be a good match for me. I feel like I could do. I really like writing puzzles, you know, and sort of planning out puzzles and stuff. I think I could do the animation and the sort of puzzle writing. I just throwing it together and distributing it is the hard part. I don't know anything about that world. Geranium said, I've had intense recording sessions. Dude, you shouldn't record in a tent. There's really no kind of tents that are good for recording. You need a booth. Oh, I'm joking. I've had intense recording sessions where I've had to do Dragon Ball style screaming for an hour. I didn't speak a word the next day. Oh, good, it's not just me. I understand. Yeah, Terranium is a good voice actor. Got a good growly voice. Matsujaki says, as long as you're being efficient and not killing yourself of your funny animal characters. No, I'll leave that for other people. When they find out Hogstrong he's taken. No, he's not actually. He's going to be. I like the idea of one day giving him a wholesome love interest, but we'll see about that. That may have to be explored in a comic with how long these things take. Okay, this. Come on. Killgar gets the love interest in the latest comic. Killgar is to be wed. In fact, he finds a woman that he would like to make his wife, but doesn't work out for our boy, unfortunately. That's all in the pages of Strawberry Tales, of course. I won't divulge the secrets within on a poultry live stream. Terranium says, believe it or not, but there are numerous game engines specifically. Yes, I do believe it. I've chosen to believe it. Beanlight Games says that was identical to Chris's Homer. Yeah, probably it is an impression of Chris O'Neill's Homer. It's not my own Homer. Because I can't do it loud. I can't, like, when he's like, Marge! That's hard, you know, but that kind of weepy, Marge, that sort of sound he makes when he gets all emotional and weepy. I can maybe do that. Matsujaki says his wholesome love interest is Killgar. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? It's the year 2025. A pig can love a Killgarian. Right. Let's get that fur. Apple bottom Killgar. Pauldrons with the fur. Right, and that hair is going to be sort of whipping up. Watch Him Whip and Nay Nay. I've got all the 2010 songs filling up my subconscious today. All right. That thigh there. Let's kill a thigh gap. Right, yo. So the cape will be kind of flowing this direction. Thank the Lord I'm coloring this one, because this is the sort of stuff that gets really confusing for colorists. Like, what is leg, what is cape, what is hair? And if I'm coloring it myself, I don't have to worry about any of that. I can just draw whatever old nonsense I want, because I can typically unscramble the nonsense in my brain. Alright, so that's, I think, a pretty solid in-between there. Let's just close that off there so I can color it. Good enough. Good enough. So, oh, see, it's still like that. It's so fast. I don't quite like the hair being so high. It might smush. Give it a smush. So yeah, I got to work on the spacing on the next one. We can't just keep putting in-betweens directly in the middle. I've got to strongly favor this pose to get it to feel smooth and to feel graceful without it taking me another hour. Right, okay, now, folks, what we're going to do is we're going to create an in-between between these two drawings. So it's a much subtler in-between. It's a much smaller kind of gap in terms of the spacing of the characters that we have to fill. And I'm going to do this by what I call cannibalizing, eating my own, taking a drawing we've already done, copying and pasting it, and then we just start changing little things about it. Obviously, I give it a little bit of a repositioning there, just to sort of begin to get the idea of, okay, are things moving in the right direction? Delete the hair. That's a good technique. Delete the hair, because hair moves so much with characters. If you're trying to go with that frame by frame, hair and capes and fabric, that sort of stuff that likes to really flop and flap around, I'd redraw that. Also, it frees up. We can kind of easily like grab body parts and stuff and start getting in there. All right, let's see what folks are saying in the chat. Harry Ashfield says, "Yo, Harry, you said last stream that there were no human characters in Starbarians. So what was Bastilda?" Well, she was from Galeron 5, which is a planet that is not Earth, so she's not technically human, and that would make her, I think, Galarian is the term I will use, but there is a PS1 game called Galarians, which I'm semi-okay with just nabbing that. I think that's alright. So yeah, she's from Galeron 5. So yeah, even though it's like Han Solo, he's technically a Corellian, but he looks a lot like Harrison Ford. I think I was just leaning into, drawing human characters, but they're not technically human, I suppose, if they're not from Earth, right? That's how it works. Savian says, one of those Class M Star Trek races. Exactly. Savian gets it. And Harry Hashfield gets it too. I always appreciate a lore question. I like that. I like getting asked them. So thank you, Harry. Le Petit Graal says, "I just arrived and here a pig can love a Killgarian." Look, it's the year 2014. It's allowed. Matsujaki said, "Stupid question. Do you do 2s or 3s at all?" I mix them up, Jackie. I do 1s and 2s and 3s. Mostly 2s, but occasionally 3s. More so for kind of the ends or beginnings of actions, like a hold. And then when I really want a thing to be fast, I'll throw something on a 1. I'll take it, says Harry. Thank you. Pleasantly says, "Human but not from Earth." Yeah. That's the idea. Kimmy Omega says, "That's also a Pokemon region, Galar, with Galarian variants." A Galarian variant. Yeah. I was working on the Killgar rap. I've been writing a Killgar rap on and off for a while. And I had a line where he's like, I'm a I'm a Vulgarian, contrarian, barbarian, Killgarian. I'll bitch slap a Cimmerian from here to Valerian. But it might be from here to Galarian. They would then put it back in the Starbarians universe, although the planet's called Galeron. But yeah, I'm a Vulgarian, contrarian, barbarian, Killgarian. I'll bitch slap a Cimmerian from here to Valerian. Something like that. Cimmerian being, of course, we'd have him kill Conan or something, throw Conan off the planet. That'd be fun. It's gonna be, the flow is gonna be sick. If it ever comes out, the Killgar rap animated music video, it's gonna be Eminem. You're not gonna hear from him for a couple of years. He's gonna have to go back in the lab. Karkenheimer says, speaking of humans, is Earth still around in 30 billion, million, trillion years? Yeah, that's a good question. I think that if I ever do and tell more of these stories, I'm going to want to do Christmas stuff, and I'm going to want to reference Earth stuff. So yeah, I think it should at least have been, it should, even if it's gone, it should at least exist in the history of the Galastrom or whatever. Hearing you casually do the voice gives off film cow vibes. Always happy to dig up the corpse of Film Cow for a reference. Kid Gabula says, for some reason I feel like you might enjoy rock and roll. Dude, I love rock and roll. Yes, I have seen rock and roll. Right, we're gonna start to edit these characters. This is tough because you kind of, there you go. Let's pull that ear. You gotta use the envelope tool. Man, the envelope tool is so fucking dope. Excuse my French, le petit gras. It's so useful. And God, I wish I could just throw together all my favorite things from 50 different animation programs and have them all together, because it's so good. You can do stuff like this. Grab just regions. It's not a perfect in between, but if you're an indie animator on a budget, you can go a lot worse than that. All right, so I'm gonna say copy and paste that Chester-Rooney and start bringing this arm up, because this arm has got to be on the move, I think. I think I'm gonna have to redraw the hand too. You know what? The arm is getting redrawn. This is what I end up doing. I end up only using 20% of it. They're on Earth 7 by now. Yeah, we've had a few attempts. Hey, Jesse Labrie, long-term Patreon supporter. Jesse says, hey, Harry, wanted to stop by and say hi. Happy to see you streaming more. Yeah, Jesse, thank you, buddy, and thanks for all the support. I am going to try and stream more because I just want to get stuff out. A stream, it's funny, you kind of sacrifice 2 hours of really focused work, because I don't get much done on a live stream. I spend half the time answering questions and bullshitting, but it's something, you know? It's a little reminder, like, hey, I'm still making stuff. I'm still technically breathing, so yeah, I'll try and stream more. Thank you, dude. Kockenheimer says, who wins in a fight, Starbarians versus Goku? I think Goku, obviously, would win. When did you use Kakani last? Semi-recently, Terranium. I'm probably going to use it, actually, on the next shot. I haven't had a lot of success using it on stream. It seems to... like the memory draw seems to slow the computer down, but I probably will use it on this cartoon. Animated Takis, as I think about that constantly, trying to make the Serpentor of animation tools. Yes! The Serpentor. As a reference, no one gets what Serpentor is in the chat. If you know who Serpentor is, then Animated Taco, let him know and let me know, because that was a sick little thing that he dropped. I know what he means. It's like the Frankenstein, right? Frankenstein's monster of animation tools. Arch Hippie says grabbing regions is tight. It's very tight. It's sick. It's tight. It's epic. Look at that. You almost don't need to draw ever again. But we do need, this is not, see this is not happening here. We need, that's got to be, you know, I don't know what it is. I'm itching to watch the Swamp Thing movies again. They're not good, but I have memories of watching them as a kid, and kind of I was at the age where I couldn't tell they were not good yet. The first one is, I'm trying to remember which one's shittier. They're both pretty bad. But when the weather starts to get a little bit hotter, and it's just starting to get really nice here in Britain, when it starts to get a bit more springy, I have a thing about swamps. I really like the idea of living in a swamp, and I don't know why, because I wouldn't last 5 days. I'd die. I'd be eaten to death by mosquitoes. But Starbarians comic has swamp stuff in it. I really like swamps, so I have to fantasize by watching the Swamp Thing films. And whenever the weather gets a little hot, I'm like, yes, I could do it. I could live in a swamp. And I just end up watching Swamp Thing. Matsujaki says, as cringy as it is, that name makes me think of Serpentius from Has. Yeah, I mean, it's Serpentor is a snake man of a sort. Megapussy says, I know it's kind of old hat at this point, but I always like it in sci-fi when old and familiar traditions have twisted into something nonsensical by the passage of time. I mean, that happens in real life too. Mageburger says, by the way, I know it's been on for all the streams for years. I want to say I love the background music. Thank you, man. Yeah, dude, that's all Okoroid. Okoroid did a stellar job on that. Okoroid, you can check out Okoroid's work on Bandcamp. Okoroid has a YouTube channel. They're an animator. Very talented. Very, very super talented person. So, did all the music for Ghostbleed. If you've played the game Crow Country, Okoroid did the music for that recently. I think Okoroid's going to go on to some big stuff. They're really very, very, very super talented. All right, we gotta get this frame finished, boy. This is ristinculous. Rest assured, if I wasn't on stream right now, I would be going about 4 times the speed, which is a not very subtle way of saying, "You're holding me back, Mom." Alright, let's get this. I do yearn for the swamp life, killer quality. Really nice, lol, says Harry Ashfield. It's a bit sunnier, but it's still cold as hell. Yeah, but I think I'm carrying more adipose fat than you, Harry, and I find that cold is acceptable. I mean, I have a little bit more padding, a bit more insulation, what the Eskimos call blubber. It makes me appreciate the cooler weather just fine. All right, let's put some in between. Let's put some fur and some stuff in this drawing because we want this thing to get done. I am heading off in about half an hour. My wife is on the phone to my stepmom. They have, like, once a month they get together and they have these big 2-3 hour chats. And that's one of the reasons I've streamed tonight. So I thought, well, while you're doing that, while you're out of commission doing that, I'm going to be streaming. And we're planning when I'm done with this, when she's done with a call, we're going to stick Kikasia on TV. Kikasia, saying it like it's an English word. Kikasia on TV. Kikasia, man. That guy with the glasses movie. Joyce has never actually watched it, and I said, I think she's warmed up to it now, and I've bullied her enough. We're going to watch it, and we're going to get some takeaway food. And that might sound to some people like a horrible way to spend your evening. I am very excited for it, so that's the plan. So I'm hoping that I could just hop off the stream, but she might not be done. If it gets 9 o'clock and I want to keep going, I might keep going. Sometimes their calls can drag on to 10, but I think she'll be done around 9. Honestly, I am getting pretty tired at the end of the day. It's not like I can start the festivities until she's off the phone, so I might stick around a little bit. So yeah, that's the hair and the fur and stuff, all that moves, you know. I feel like that cheek should be up there a bit more. Get that erased. Hey, bye Matsujaki, you probably already left, but thanks for coming by. Mageburger says, Okoroid, he's like the OST guy for so many animators. Okoroid is amazing, yeah. Beanlight, still in the chat with us, thank you for being here. Who have I not said hello to? Tyler, I haven't spoken to too much. Tyler says, damn, that's sick. Wait, wait, me watching Kikasi is sick? Sabian says you're going to watch Coppola's final cut of Kikasi. Man, Francis Ford Coppola is one of those guys, you know, people give Doug Walker shit for, you know, accusations of whatever, mismanagement or something during the time of the making of those Channel Awesome films. I'm not one to pile on like that. But I will pile on when it comes to Francis Ford Coppola, because I fucking like his films. That guy is such a disappointment. It's really gross, but if you know anything about the movie director Victor Salva, who is a criminal, he's done time for his crimes. Francis Ford Coppola is a big buddy of his, and anyway, like I'm not a cancel pig. Hogstrong is, and he's also a literal pig, but I can separate art from artists, I think, pretty well, but Coppola gives me the douche chills pretty bad, unfortunately. What's up with Hogstrong's one little baby tooth? Says Cockenheimer. Cockenheimer, he's got a whole set of teeth, right? They're just out of shot. All right, let's get this. Let's get this in hand. Oh, I'm hearing footsteps. My wife might be done with her call. That would be earlier than expected. Hey, hey, hey! No one's going to be able to hear your sweet voice until you are essentially where I am, near the microphone. So come.
Okay.
Come closer.
Yeah, she was off early.
Okay, so you're all done on your call.
Yeah. Hello.
This is Joyce, everyone. If you can hear her, do you want to pull up a chair for a minute, honey? Because you're going to be inaudible unless you're really close to the mic.
Oh, I guess I'm part of the stream now.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to hear you. Guys, can you talk loud, honey?
I can try, but my voice is also kind of croaky from a phone call.
Yeah. All right. Well, you don't have to say anything, but it's nice to have you with me. I guess you don't necessarily want to be on a live stream right now, do you? You probably want to get and eat some food and order some food and.
Well, yeah, I thought I'd be on a longer family phone call, so I didn't bother preparing dinner.
I was telling all the lovely people that you're gonna watch Kikassia with me.
Oh.
Do you still want to do? We don't have to do that. We really don't have to.
He's going to be very polite on stream and act like it's a choice.
No.
Like it's not a foregone conclusion.
I'm not going to be polite, Joyce. I'm going to be extremely impolite. Here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
If we don't watch Kikassia, I'm thinking that...
No, we're not watching To Boldly Flee or
No!
Suburban Nights or...
No. By the way, I have no idea how the audio sounds right now, everyone. Last time we were on a stream together, I had to take the stream down because I was so badly mic'd. Joyce was really quiet, or she sounded okay, but I peaked every time I spoke, so I'm going to... Tell me if the audio needs adjusting right now.
Oh, thank you, Animated Taco, for complimenting the colors. Yeah, I did at least 60 pages.
Yeah, Joyce colored the comic. Joyce is, by the way, if you don't know Joyce is my wife, but we've worked together on cartoons now for 15 years. 14 years, 15 years, and also Joyce colored the comic book. She's voice acted in my cartoons. She's voice acted in the one I'm animating right now.
Well, this is the first one I voice acted in.
Hey,
other than
Ghostbleed.
Well, does that count as a cartoon?
It counts as a voice.
In mixed media.
Yeah. I was telling you, Animated Taco, you met Scott at a Pico Day. He worked on Slave Zero X. He did
that game looks amazing.
I was singing his praises earlier on.
Yeah.
Let me say hello to Hardly Harry. Hardly Harry says, if you had all the time in the world, would you make shorter random cartoons like 50 Llamas Day? I would like to make more one-offs, but then I feel like every time I do that, I'm not using time that I could be using to build a library of, adventures of the characters that I've established. So it's an ongoing thing. But yeah, I write, Joyce will tell you, I write little silly one-off cartoons all the time that I'll never have.
We talk about it every day. Always a back and forth on what the future of the channel will be. Because you do have lots of little ideas, but then you have lots of big ones too, and it's really hard to choose between the favored children.
Yeah. Are there any questions that I've missed? Because I can actually get my head down now and do some. Now you're here to help me. I can actually do some. No, don't use. Sorry, I thought you were using the mouse.
No, leaning. I'm leaning because there's not much desk room.
It's because it's so dark in here. I couldn't see what you were doing.
It is.
Let me turn on the light. Any questions? Read them out.
What about the light I bought you? Oh, you don't have it plugged in.
That's a stupid light. The one you got me is a stupid light.
Oh, you
it's
don't even have it plugged in.
A stupid poopy light.
All right. Questions. Does anybody have questions?
No, we can go.
Oh no! Don't bring up Linkara movies, Mr. Common Oddity. Common Oddity is a Patreon supporter. Oh. So Common Oddity's probably paid for your splendor, Joyce. No, don't bribe him with your Patreon money to watch Linkara movies. Savian, which part of the UK are you from, Joyce? I'm not. I'm from America.
What?
Huh?
What? You didn't tell me this.
You said America.
You said, "Howay, lad. I'm Newcastle born and bred."
Ayo.
Up the tune. Hello, Christian Venegas. Welcome back. Well, I'm where I've always been, man. Right here.
Animated Taco was the closest action figure to the desk. I've probably cleaned it up. So
Animated Taco is a big action figure fan. It's such a question you would ask. What is the closest action figure to the desk, honey?
Well, I mean, right now it's actually on a shelf behind you, and it's probably your most recent acquisition from a nice loving gift from Ben, which you've also mentioned on stream, a big Street Fighter Guile figure.
Yeah, my friend in France, Benjamin Daniel, gave me a 12-inch G.I. Joe of Guile from Street Fighter. Although actually the closest to the desks might be they're under the thingy over there.
I forgot, it's under the sound booth.
They're all the mini like G.I. Joes that I got from Street Fighter. I bought recently. Yeah, because we had guys coming over to do the plumbing, and they had tattoos, and they're tough men, and they're big men, and they're macho men, and I hid all the toys I could possibly hide.
I hid all my little toys.
And he still went, "Oh, you like your superheroes and toys then?" And I said,
Yeah, no, you're not gonna be able to hide it, honey.
No, I can't hide that at all.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Oh yes, Mageburger, you have a lot of one-off cartoon ideas that aren't released rather than coming up with perfect ideas and spending months animating them? Yay! The Great Hairy Partridge is relatable. Yep, that's definitely something that is always a struggle, figuring out should you do short now or long for later. But,
yeah, I lament that I was saying earlier that I just don't feel I make anything worth being excited over, because I think it has to be long. If you don't know you can at least enjoy a thing for 20 minutes, you can't really get excited for it. I just, it's tough, right? The internet used to be different. It used to be this, there was a lot less content online, so you could put out a 1-minute cartoon. I think people would go, wow, like, oh great, that's how I'm gonna watch that. But nowadays, there's so much to watch. You gotta give people the goods. So
I think some of the best short media is when it can evolve into a longer kind of series. It feels short, like they're isolated little things, but then you realize, like, oh, it's a recurring character. Like Sick Animation's so good at doing that, having little series that you think and feel are one-offs, but they build to like this kind of shared universe.
Yeah, we love Sick Animation.
Yeah, those are really good. And happy Easter, GDGS. Yep, happy Easter to everybody. I feel so lazy. I didn't do nothing this year to celebrate Easter.
You didn't do it. Well, what would you do?
Oh, I used to do a lot more when I first moved here. Back when I, was starry-eyed about moving to a new country.
When Joyce had pep in her step and a song in her heart, and she didn't have a permanent rain cloud that lived above her head that only rained on her. Which is what she has now, that she's lived with me in Britain for all this time.
Oh, well, Swindon is just, like, pretty terrible. It seems like every time we leave and then come back, Swindon's always being rained on compared to this adjacent England.
Joyce, don't dox us, alright?
I'm sorry.
Don't dox me.
I'm sorry.
Just dox you. Dox where you live.
I'm sorry. Is that bad?
No, it's not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad. I've talked about Swindon before.
Okay, good.
But just, don't go any further.
No, I won't. Yeah, I meant Swindon, Texas, of course. Yeah.
How are we doing for time, actually? That's a question. What time is it?
It's 8:42. 8:42, or what is it? 8:45.
Yeah. All right. Well, I might not go for too much longer, because I'm really feeling pretty out of it, actually.
You've been feeling out of it all day. Hardly Harry, are you self-taught or did you go to art school? Your work is very professional and looks better than hand-drawn features sometime.
Oh, poo. It doesn't look better than a feature unless it's if it's Tappy Toes, that bargain bin DVD about a penguin, then yeah, maybe it looks better than that. But compared to anything with a real budget, I don't think so. But yeah, I did go technically to I went to animation. I did an animation course at university, but I was self-taught. They didn't teach us a thing. We had one guy try and teach us like a walk cycle, and the students no one responded well to him, and he basically never came back. He came in for a week, and no one. I was disappointed. I thought we would learn technical stuff and challenge ourselves, but from what I've heard, anybody that went to art school or went to university to do an artistic thing, you basically are surrounded by people that aren't taking it seriously. There's very few people that really wanted to be animators there. A lot of them just thought, oh, that might be fun, I'll try that. And they weren't doing it in their spare time, they weren't thinking about it, they didn't have any ambitions beyond, getting a grade and just, I guess, killing some time.
Yeah, from what you talked about it sounded a lot more broad too, like lots of different styles of animation, not really getting into the nitty-gritty of like, this is how to use these programs or anything.
What they wanted, I thought they were going to teach us how to animate and demand that we make good-looking animated shorts. What they wanted at university was for us to write essays about some Czechoslovakian grandma that made animation with sand, or somebody that made just lesbian sexual exploration films. That's what they wanted. They didn't actually care about animation. I don't think.
There's a lot of like obscure, surrealist, like Soviet bloc strange animation, like tapes and DVDs left over probably from your art school years that just look like a slog.
No, those were just bought for me by my dad.
Yeah, okay.
If it's Jan Svankmajer, it's by my dad loves that stuff.
He is an art teacher at heart.
A little bit, yeah. He's a female art teacher at heart.
Christian Venegas asks, what would you do if you hit 1 million subscribers?
Nothing any differently. That's such a mundane. There's a mundane reality. It doesn't mean anything. If I wasted time doing like a 1 million subscribers video, I would take away from making from a cartoon maybe. So yeah,
it's ephemeral. Yeah.
Hey Tamagotchi, how you doing, buddy?
Let's see.
Yeah, let me see. How about that? What do I see? All right.
Yeah, Liam Hart commiserates that UK university animation courses are glorified creative media courses that don't teach you about animation.
I think there are some good ones, but I didn't take that, so
I'm just so used to art school as having a very like super costly price tag in the States attached to it. At least the ones that were in my area, I was like, oh no, there's no way I'm going into those places, that I'll never be able to earn anything to pay that off.
No, Joyce went to dental tech school.
I did. I briefly learned how to make teeth before at the end of the course they told us most of it would be prefabricated in the future anyway.
They said you're going to be AI teeth in the future. You're not getting a job.
Essentially.
All right. Well, honey, I could go ahead and do another in between. Mm-hmm. I don't want to. I don't want to. Do you want me to do one more?
I'm lovingly punching you in the kidneys. You can do it, can't you?
Okay, guys, we're not going to finish this action because I have a headache and I'm tired.
Do I need to grab you some Ibuprofen?
Yeah,
Ibuprofen?
actually, that would be sweet. And a little bit of water, that'd be really good.
Alright.
Give me 2, please.
Okay, I'm gonna check out for a second.
Yeah. Okay, we can talk shit about Joyce now she's gone. Thank God. What is the longest you have worked in one session, says Rutger Gullen. I think I may have done 45 hours before. It was either 45 or 48 on the Hitman cartoon, and I think I probably did the same too, animating Mip, trying to get Mip done for Smiling Friends, because Joyce and I had a trip coming up. I had a trip and I had a Mip, and the Mip conflicted with the trip, so we were supposed to get in a car and leave, and it was crazy. I actually remember, so it was really funny. I was about 24 hours away from the deadline, which was the trip. Like, that was the deadline. I had to be done, and I got a knock at the door. I went down and answered it, and I hadn't slept. I was all like fucking unshaven and gross, and it was the guy to pick me up to take me on this. And I said, no, you're 24 hours early, and he was. It was a complete mistake on his part. The driver was like, oh, I'm really sorry. I'll be back tomorrow, and he came back tomorrow, and I still wasn't done. So Joyce had to go on the trip a day early. I stayed back. I told the story before, and I just stayed up pretty much for about 45 hours straight and finished all the shots for Mip, for Smiling Friends. And when I was done, obviously it was an empty house. Joyce was already on the trip. I'm talking about the time that you went you went down. It was with my parents, basically. We're going to go see my dad, who lives at the south end of the country. And Joyce went to the south end of the country without me. And I hung back. I finished Mip up for about 45 hours. Ordered a pizza. I took Joyce's bedding, which was superior to my bedding, and I got it, and I just like swaddled myself in it. But the animation was done, and I ate pizza, and I felt so good, man. It's such a good feeling.
Yeah, I was not keen on that.
No, Joyce had to hang out with my dad and stepmom without me.
Well, I definitely traded down in beds, that's for sure. So, well, whatever. You didn't get sleep for one night. That's fair.
Yeah. Hey, Aya is in the chat. Aya says, Harry, this is looking great. I wish I had time to stick around. Just popping in to say hi. Hi, Aya. Aya's a brilliant animator I've worked with a bunch of times. Actually on Stubarians 3.5, the last kind of Stubarians episode Aya helped on. Aya's awesome, so thanks for being here, Aya, even if only for a minute. Kalkenheimer, thank you. I'm glad that people still remember that Hitman cartoon. That was another thing I stayed up. I don't remember the specifics of it too much because it's so long ago now. But whenever I did stuff that was a paid, that was a paid sponsorship, by the way, just in case it wasn't obvious. That was for like money. That was for money. And I, of course, because it's tied into the release of the game, you have people breathing down your necks. I had some crazy conversations with people. I remember this one time, this guy, it was for one of the Skyrim cartoons, and he said, Harry, has to come out now. What can I do to make it come out? And he didn't mean more money. It's not like he could offer me more money and I could find more animators or anything in so little time. I said, there's nothing you can do. He couldn't accept that there wasn't a sort of a magic powder that he could sprinkle into the air.
Some goat to sacrifice.
Yeah. He wanted to put some like pixie dust on my head like Beetlejuice, and the cartoon would just come out. Yeah. And I said, no, it has to. I think I was only about 12 hours away from finishing, so it came out, but...
Harry Ashfield asks, it was paid, but where did the idea come from? You? Yes.
So they had they were trying to, on that game, Hitman Absolution, they were trying to... They said, like, we want you to do a cartoon for the new game, and so therefore take some stuff from the new game, new features, basically, and showcase those. And one of the new features was the idea of hiding in plain sight and actually talking, I think it was a new feature anyway, talking as a cop or someone, interacting with other cops, while hiding. That was a thing that I could sort of make fun of. So that was one idea. And the other idea was this thing where you could see where people were going to walk. You could kind of watch them and you'd learn their patterns, and then it would like project almost a kind of ghost image of where they're going to go to next. And I wrote this very offensive cartoon where he was watching a cop, and then just was like, okay, I know where this guy's gonna go. He's gonna go to the local gay bar, and he goes to a gay bar, and it's implied he does a lot of extremely raunchy things, and then as he leaves, he sees the cop didn't go anywhere near it, and it was just Agent 47. I guess they didn't like the idea of me implying that Agent 47 was gonna have tons of gay sex, so they went with the other idea, which I think worked out for the best.
Yes, it did. It did. Some way with just a symbol for their name. Very Prince.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know how to say that guy's name.
Zero.
Zero, I suppose.
Harry, what can we do to make you happier, make more cartoons? You're working full time. It's really just the question of earning more money to pay for more help.
Yeah, so I paid quite a lot. I'd call it quite a lot, like maybe two Patreon months worth of help recently. So Patreon support helps. It does, because I do pay that money to animators.
Yeah.
I have Emma Wackley, who I've worked with a bunch. Actually went to the same university as me. She's helped on this cartoon with coloring, and Yap Chung Shing, who's a great animator, lives in Singapore. He's helped on this cartoon too. So it's sad, right? That's probably it. But just watching him and coming by the streams, every little helps. Not everybody is in a position to give money to internet animators of all things. Most people have to pay their stinking bills and buy groceries. So I appreciate all the support I get.
I know it's incredible that honestly this has lasted as long as it has.
Yeah,
an artistic career.
This charade, this snake oil enterprise that I've been running has lasted as long as it has. All right, I'm gonna trace this bad boy, and then we've got almost a smooth action, but not quite. We still need to really get it in there to make it nice and smooth.
You've got a lot of thumbs up on what would have been the Hitman plot.
People like it?
Oh yeah.
Like it was 2017. It was 2012. It was a different time. In fact, Emma Wackley, who worked on this new cartoon, she worked on the Hitman cartoon that did come out. She did clean up and color and stuff on that too. So I've worked with her literally for that long, for 13 years now.
Rutger Gullen asks, is it easy to find / hire other animators to help?
That's not been the challenging thing. The challenging thing is paying them, because I have a roster of probably about 8 or 9 people that I could go to. So if somebody's busy...
Yeah, they're not always available, but there's somebody available.
Yeah, exactly. Like, out of those people, I can only afford 1 or 2 for a very short period of time. So the chances are that of that, 8 or 9 people, that somebody will be available for a very short period of time. It's not like I can hire them for months and months and months. So, Shucharo is still in the chat. Shucharo, also an animator I've worked with on Trilby Dogtooth. Shucharo's done lots of the Starbomb music videos. And I'll say
you're showing me Starbomb.
It's been a Starbomby week. I've been giving some love to Eager Raptor earlier in the chat today. My favorite Starbomb video. I don't actually think that Chucharo worked on it. Maybe you did, but it's the Luigi's Ballad. That's my favorite song of theirs. I think I love that fucking song. Fuck, I can't express in words without. you Joyce. It's like, yeah, I know you've played it 8,000 million times. All right. Let me clean this stinking in between up.
Oh, Liam Hart asks, if someone wants to apply to help animate with your projects, where can they apply to?
So this is the thing. I'm gonna sound like a curmudgeon, but I often find that people say, I'd like to help, and this may not be you, Liam. It was Liam, right, that said that?
Liam Hart.
Yeah. They say, I'd like to help, and I go, okay, great, send me a show reel. And they go, oh, I don't have a show reel. And it's not animators necessarily. Sometimes it's voice people. They say, I'd like to do a voice. They don't actually have recordings of their voice. It's like, that's the most important thing. So if you're an animator, and I would obviously want people that have had some experience and done it before. The thing that is the important thing is that you send a show reel. That's all it is. And it can be on Twitter. Just send me a link to like your website or whatever on Twitter. Totally public. Because it should be public, right? If you're trying to get work as an animator, you should have no problem posting it publicly. So that would be the best way. But like I say, it's not a criticism of anybody if I can't work with them, because
No, it's hard stuff. We don't want to hurt
and paying
like
for it too.
Hobbyists and stuff who can't obviously spend time doing that if it's not their full-time job.
No, it's not. If it's not someone's full-time job, it's totally understandable. They wouldn't be at skill level. But I'm not talking about skill. I'm talking about if I can't. It's just I can't afford to hire the people.
Yeah.
I like I said, I've worked with Yap and Emma recently, and that's going to be it now for probably 2 months. I think that May and June are going to be hunkering down months doing it myself, and then maybe July or something, or June, maybe in June if I'm lucky, I can get them again and manage to pay for them. And so when that time comes, obviously I'm going to go and turn to the people that I know that I work with well.
Janum97 is asking, how do you learn to animate anyways? Did you read that guidebook? Took any classes? We talked earlier about going to university. But,
the Animator's Survival Kit by Richard Williams.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say that again just in case you didn't. The Animator's Survival Kit, book by Richard Williams, is the best book on animation possibly I've ever seen. I've read a bunch, but that has everything you need to know. So if you want to learn to animate, I would really recommend you get that book. It's just, I think it was self-taught and practice. And honestly, I was never a practicer of sitting down and going, I need to get better at this thing. I just made stuff. I just would make a 30-second cartoon and then a 25-second cartoon, then a minute. And over time, it's just like you go, okay, well, that one was a giant piece of crap. Let's make one that's a medium-sized piece of crap. And now let's make one that's just only a very small piece of crap. And over time, I think I hammered out a lot of the things that I didn't like. And I still can't do everything. But you know what? The great thing about being independent is you don't need to be able to do everything. You just need to be able to scrape by and pay the bills. And I'd like to pay the bills a little bit more punctually, maybe. I would maybe some things that could certainly improve in our situation. But you don't have to be the greatest ever. You know, I think certainly with humor animation, you can, if you animate like South Park, but you're as funny as South Park, then that's great.
Yeah, there was a quote which I'm sure is more popular than I thought. I just hadn't heard it before till you said it, but like something to the effect of like, you've got 10,000 bad drawings in you before you're like an artist or something. It's just about a lot of it's practice. Get those out of
Yeah. Everyone starts off bad. You can't go, well, if I do it, it'll be bad, and that's bad, so I shouldn't do it. No, you have to actually make the bad ones. That's part of the process of becoming good. Every good artist made bad drawings. You don't avoid being bad. You actually avoid improving if you're never entertaining the idea of being bad temporarily. So get the bad drawings out of you. It's almost like if you've got a cold, you've got to blow your nose. Actually, you don't want it in you. You want the snot out. So do your creative snotting, your creative vomiting, and you'll be in a better position then.
Get that blockage out with practice.
Yeah.
Mr. Common Oddity asks, if there was one well-renowned animator / artist that you could work with, who would it be?
Well, the thing is, I've got a big ego. A big ego for Easter, and I don't know if I'd want to work with another animator and like design the look together, although I mean there's some really good animators out there. I don't know, there's a ton of people. Who do I like? Joyce, you have more brain power. I'm running low on brain battery right now.
I'm terrible with names. I hear less about you picking out specific animators and more about specific artists. Like, because we have just a huge repository of comic books behind us, and you're always pointing out like, oh, I love that artist and that artist. Those are really good guys.
Yeah, but then it would be weird to work with them, you know?
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to work with.
Yeah.
But,
I just want to do my own thing. I do my own thing and be able to afford. I want to hire those people, but I wouldn't want to sort of necessarily collaborate with them in a true collaborative sense. I like doing my own thing.
Okay, Jenim97 is just asking if anybody knows the band Ween. I don't know that band.
I know Ween because they're on the. So they did Every Color in the Homo Rainbow. That's the one I know.
Okay. Okay, this is on the like Starbomb, My Favorite Martian.
No. So the reason I know Every Color in the Homo Rainbow is because it's on the chef Chef Aid South Park album.
Oh, okay.
And they were a big 90s alternative band. I mean,
like in keeping with like Primus and Wheatus
yes,
and stuff like that.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wheatus and Fetus and Feeder and Visor.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're in the they're famously in the It's Pat movie. I think it's
Is anything famous in the It's Pat movie?
famously in the movie It's Pat. I think it ends with a Ween concert.
Okay, I'm getting roasted in the chat. They did Ocean Man. Of course I know Ocean Man. All right.
And they did baby bitch. You fucking, however that song goes, you slut and you're a bitch and I hate you. It's great. It's a great song.
Okay. Terranium asks if you got to do an animated music video for any song you
Oh,
want.
that's a little easier because with my brain, I think about that all the time actually.
You do.
I literally have ideas all the time, and I'm like, yeah, I want to do a song animated music video to that. Damn, I can't think of any right now. What's wrong with me?
Shoot, and I can't think of any of your ideas either. You probably keep them to yourselves. I do like your idea that you had for a while. This is maybe too geeky, but you wanted to do like a covers album for different songs, but Star Wars themed. Like, what was the Echo Base one?
Oh, that's so no. That was a long time ago. I was thinking you could take songs from the 80s and kind of tell the story of Star Wars with them. So Echo Base would be Echo Beach.
Echo Beach, that was it.
And yeah, you could and then Papa Don't Preach. You could do Jabba Don't Preach. It's not. It's terrible. Jabba Don't Preach. I was in trouble deep. It would be Han Solo singing it. When I saw the Imperial fleet, I made up my mind. Next time, I'm keeping my cargo. It's so lame. So lame.
But you have a lot of fun with wordplay, so that's the kind of songs that you like are the songs that definitely have a lot of lyricism to them.
There's no wordplay to be spoken of in that example.
No, well, okay, it's a parody subversion while fitting in. You're good at fitting in new lyrics to things.
Yeah, I like that. That's fun.
Yeah. It is fun. Yeah, killer quality. Killgar rap animated music video. You have thought about that.
I was dropping some Killgar rap lyrics earlier today.
Yeah. Poor Kockenheimer. This stream inspired me to continue drawing for my comic. Working on it right now, lol. Honey, you're such a slave driver to these people.
Kockenheimer. That's awesome, man. I like, look, art is hard. And sometimes there's not a whole lot of reward involved. But I do think that when you do it, this is the thing. It can be very difficult when you're making something to accept its imperfections. I will say time is a great healer in that regard. And when I look back on things that I made that have imperfections, especially from when I was young, especially when I was like a little kid, I look at that stuff with such affection now. And I think that you do grow to regard the things you made, even if they're imperfect, in a sort of a more fond light over time, and that will happen for you if you just commit to finish your thing. Just finish it, let it live, let it be imperfect. I was kind of giving you an earful about this yesterday because Joyce has a creative project. Let's not get into that now.
No, don't.
But yeah, it's good to finish things and do your art, and even if things aren't great, get it done if you can.
Yeah. Certainly, if it's something you want to continue and be a major part of your life, if you want it to be a career, you just have to. You have to get things finished.
But I will say that this in-between is so bad, it can never be finished.
No. Make bad ones and finish them. I think you too much perfection. I couldn't believe how much disgustingly nice animation was on Cutie Palootie. She does not need it.
Joyce was like, Joyce watched back some of the cartoon yesterday, and she's like, it's too animated. Why is it moving all the time? Because she realizes every time that there's an in-between that didn't need to be there, that's like, oh, that's Harry not going to the gym. That's Harry
that's not
coming down. Yeah, but come on.
That's your first thought.
Yeah, she's like, that's 20 minutes to half an hour of our life that's been frazzled.
I'm sure, though, like anybody else in the chat, does anybody else relate to the thing of, though, when you have a long project or even any kind of piece of art, the less you think about it, the more you zone out and want to listen to a podcast or something, you find yourself doing too much work, too much detail, because it's just easier to turn your brain off and not make smart decisions.
Yeah.
I think it's really easy to do that. You just fall into an autopilot.
If you get into the flow state, you can lose a lot of time. And it sounds good, like, oh, you're in the flow state. That means you're going to be just cranking stuff out. But if it's because you're not just making widgets on a conveyor belt, you're making art, you can end up, and I'm guilty of this, of being busy doing nothing. You can be busy doing nothing. It makes a lot more sense, for me anyway, to I only try and make money, and then I take the money and pay other people to make the animation, and not do the animation myself. There maybe is more efficiency there, but it's actually it can be relaxing and fun to do it yourself sometimes. So it has a hindered efficiency. What's Harry Ashfield asked? And did we miss a Tamagotchi question earlier too?
Oh, did we?
Tamagotchi said something. Man, sorry, we missed your question.
Tamagotchi, here's a question about that. I don't remember if I've asked this before, but what about if you're bad at drawing, but your friends say what you draw is really good, even though you know they...
I think, to get Tamagotchi, if you're still here, I will say, if you feel like your work isn't good, and your friends say it's good, I would listen to your own instincts there. Friends can give you positive feedback, it's nice, but they can do it because they don't want to hurt your feelings. I think that the criticism that hurts the most is the stuff that you also suspect is true. So if you think, the anatomy is not good on that, or the composition's not good on that, and someone else points that out, then you know it's true, right? If you are thinking it and they're saying it. But if only you are thinking it and they're not saying it, listen to your own instinct, because ultimately you have to be happy with the work that you do. And if you think I've got more work that needs to be done to get it to the standard I want, listen to that voice, because you've got to live with it. Ultimately, your friends can just say whatever comment they want. Hopefully it's nice, because they're probably nice people. They say it, they throw it out there, and then they walk away, and they don't have to live with it and think about it. So you do. So I listen to that voice inside you. Go with your gut, basically. If you're like me and you have a great big gut, you have plenty to listen to, and that thing gurgles away.
Yeah, I actually just got an earful of this on the phone.
My gut, my big gut.
But someone a family member trying to encourage the sale of stuff that I'm not really proud of or want to sell, and it's really easy for somebody to say like, oh, it's great, just sell it, you'll make money, it'll be perfect, and blah blah blah. But if you don't have faith in it, it can be really hurtful to be like, oh, I'm gonna put it out there, I have to advertise it, I have to try and convince other people to like it if I'm not sold on it, and that can just disappoint you and make you not want to do more art.
Did we miss? Because I scrolled up. We got Harry Ashfield.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't respond to what you said there.
That's okay.
I responded. I sort of belched, I think, and just leant over the desk a bit. That's a response of a kind.
Yeah. Trust that what you like is good, and if other people compliment it, that's nice, but that's not always what you should follow. But let's see. Oh, Tamagotchi says, just to point out, my friends are also artists and one has an art degree. Yeah, and if you trust their opinion, but it sounded like maybe if you don't trust it, you don't have to use it.
Sometimes it can be smart to say to them, what can I improve? Because then you're locking them in. They have now to give you a criticism. You're saying, what can I improve? And they don't necessarily feel bad if they give a criticism because you've asked for it. So it can be really tough. Sometimes I don't want to know people's criticisms because it can hurt. So if you got the balls to go there, I don't always do, but yeah, it can be good.
Yeah, people are saying, Beanlight Games, on the other hand, most of my favorite artists hate their own work. It's a balancing act. Animated Taco says, listen to your enemies also. I mean, that is also a toss-up. Some people will actively just not mislead you. But, it's good to know. It's good to know what a general opinion of your work is across the board. Let's see. Any more questions?
But when it comes to like listening to your enemies, is that like Genghis Khan quote or something? Because that
that's very Conan.
Yeah, like listening to them scream. Listen to your enemies. It is the stuff that it stings the most when you think it's true.
Yes.
If somebody said to me like, Harry's animation isn't very fluid and it looks like very cheap for an indie animator. I wouldn't agree with that. I don't agree with that side. It would be water off a duck's back. I'd go, I don't think that's the case. But if they said they picked on something that I agreed with, like that joke was weak, or that writing didn't go anywhere, or the criticism of he takes too long to make stuff, which I totally do agree with, and that is true. It's not nice to hear. You go, that's actually correct, and I agree with that. It might not be correct that they're saying it, but you can agree with the meat of it,
Yeah, it's difficult to know when you hear stuff that you agree with. Is that something that you then pursue to change, or is that something you live with?
It's if by your own measuring stick it's important to you. It is important to me that I make more stuff because time is finite, and I don't want it to be another 800 years before Starbarians episode 4 comes out, or my monster movie comes out. So I do have to get off. For me, it's all fuel for the fire. It motivates me to make stuff, and in some ways I like that. I think if you're motivated by jealousy or competitiveness, those can be good things. And if you're motivated by someone saying a criticism that can be quite hard on you, but it motivates you to get better or to make better stuff, make more stuff, that can be all positive. If it shuts you down and it just makes you bitter and hate yourself, you gotta cast it aside. But there can be real inspiration that comes from criticism and from negative comments. So try and use it to spur you on. Imagine you're a coal engine or whatever, and a combustion engine or something, and it's all just fuel that's getting thrown on there. If it's a cow on the track that's going to slow you down, then don't just blast through it and turn it into beef. Yeah. I'm running away with this analogy a little bit, but yeah.
That's fine. I like the imagery.
Thank you.
But yeah, there's a reason why there's a cliche, a trope that like young artists, young people in the industry are hungry and do a lot more for than older people will care about. People who are established, won't create as much or won't create stuff that's as daring because they're not getting that rivalry and that spite.
Well, don't believe it. I'm hungry all the time. I'm literally always need a snack or something.
Well, I think that makes you appear more youthful.
Oh, I mean, I'm literally hungry all the time.
Oh, okay.
No, I do. I still, because I feel like I've not even scratched the surface on the stuff I want to do. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, no, I don't want to age anymore. I want to make the thing. It's not fair. Yeah. So I just keep going because I'm sure on my deathbed I'll be thinking I could have made a few more cartoons.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
All right, I'm wrapping up soon, folks. We've gone over about 15 minutes longer than I had intended, so I'm just going to finish off this cheeky little in-between. And then we're going to be Splitsville. Solid gone, baby. I mean, we'll be out of here. So if you have anything that you want, if you want to call Joyce, the animator's Yoko Ono, if you want to sling abuse at her, now is your opportunity because... I'm
still sitting here.
Yeah, she's still technically here. But no one criticized me, okay?
You can criticize me. I didn't make dinner. I should have.
Oh, that's true. You didn't... No, baby.
Oh, I thought I'd be on the phone.
No, we know what we're doing for dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Getting a cheeseburger. Couple of cheeseburgers.
Yeah, the only way I can be bribed for Cacassia. Oh, no, people are reminding you, too, about it. How long is Cacassia again?
It's only 70 minutes.
Okay.
You're in the clear, baby.
Okay, I've got this...
Get just a couple of cheeseburgers and beers. Watch Kicassia, because that's the bottom line.
Okay, that was Stone Cold, okay.
Fuck you. It's an acceptable Stone Cold impression.
I don't know what it turned into at the end there, but...
Oh, Anime Taco. Joyce, be honest, are the burgers over there even good? Ugh, the good ones are way too pricey. And actually, some of the gourmet ones I don't like. They have really soft, like, brioche bread over here, which doesn't feel right. I have this thing. Mexican food and burgers over here, way too expensive if it's good. And if it's too expensive, it doesn't feel right. It shouldn't be classy. It shouldn't be gourmet. It should be satisfying.
We're not classy or gourmet, so yeah.
Yeah.
You see the nice things that people are saying about us? Look at GNM97.
Oh.
You guys are lucky to have each other.
Oh, really?
I'm lucky to have you. You're blessed to have me. Harry and Joyce are my favorite animation power couple. Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, yeah, we get on pretty good.
We need to meet more animation couples. We don't do enough double dates.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest.
Oh, you don't.
I'm gonna be honest. Animation couples are pretty cringe.
Okay.
I don't
know any.
No, I honestly, I don't know about that. I'm sure some people tune in and they're like, oh, he's got his wife on the show. Jesus.
That is my.
Jesus.
That is my not so secret fear. I damn
No,
Joyce. Come on streams.
Joyce is fully aware how fucking lame it is to put your wife up front. But I'm sorry, it's just a reality that I live with you, and I can't hide it. I've tried. I've tried convincing people that I have many gay affairs, but you always turn up and ruin it for me.
A fellow person has been blocked by Linkara, honey. Rucker Gullen. Linkara blocked me for drawing him. Rude. Yeah, I know, right?
Wait, I haven't been blocked by Linkara.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
You've been blocked by a couple people for no reason.
I was blocked by Rob Liefeld, another person that's given to comics.
Yeah.
But no, me and Linkara, as far as I'm aware, there's no bad blood.
Oh, good.
Between me and the Lightbringer. It's all good.
And do we actually watch wrestling, Terranium Ass? I mean, we get about as close as someone who doesn't watch wrestling possibly can.
Yeah, yes. We quite like wrestling adjacent content, which is like videos about wrestlers, videos about retrospectives, big events, drama, history of like particular careers. But the actual stuff, I will watch it, but I only watch old stuff from 1990
and 90s.
And it's a good thing to fall asleep to.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't religiously follow it in any way. But we appreciate it.
We do.
People that say, oh, you know, it's fake. It's like, I know that was a very my generation thing growing up in the early 90s. People would say that, and my dad still says that. It's like, oh, it's all fake. Why do people think it's real? But like, no, that's not the important part. A comic book is fake. These guys are throwing each other off of buildings.
Many of the injuries are not fake.
No, it's not. The deaths and
the injuries they stage and ham up are way softer than the injuries they actually incur upon each other.
You do know that ballet is fake, right?
yeah. It's like saying theater is fake. Well,
it's fake.
It's part of the entertainment.
But this is roided up theater with big racist men punching each other through walls.
Yeah, busting bones and herniating on stage. It's tremendous.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So this is the animation that I've done. Not all wrestlers are racist, but some are. And you don't know when you're watching it, so you just enjoy it guilt-free. All right. So this is what I've got now. It's still not quite right. I still need to do another couple in-betweens to smooth it out. But you guys understand why this stuff takes time. And I'm thinking that's probably going to be it for today's stream. What I'll do is, to get those last few frames, I will copy and paste this drawing and try and do it that way. And that'll be tomorrow's work. Just to put it in context, this is a 12-second shot. He's shouting at Hugstrong and yanking him around. And it's just this one little moment I've been on for like the last hour and a half. Just that. So if this shot is done tomorrow, it'll be a minor miracle. I think it's going to take me a whole 3 days. And I wrote on the schedule, honey, that it was a 2-day shot.
Yeah, people are counting on me to prevent you from doing too many frames. I've been trying that for 15 years. It hasn't worked.
It didn't take. It didn't take. All right, so don't worry about that. Joyce is, you're not going to be able to defeat me on that one.
Things get broken. Things get busted whenever the issue is raised.
Anyway, look, we're coming to the end of the stream now. Joyce and I we're gonna watch some very good theater of a kind. Theater of the that guy with the glasses variety, and enjoy our dinner. So we're going to run off, but thank you to everybody that came by today, put up with my croaky voice, and put up with Joyce as well, my voice and my Joyce. And thanks to everyone that supports me on Patreon and helps keeping these things going. There will be we both thank you for that. There will be a new Starbarians cartoon coming up real soon. Like I say, I'm on the last 2 shots. Joyce actually is hopping on backgrounds tomorrow. She's going to start coloring all the backgrounds we've drawn.
Yep.
I was working on some silhouettes today that I can throw in just to pad it out. And here's some very penisy looking mushrooms. So, big spoiler alert, they're on a mushroom planet this time.
Diverse.
Very, yeah. And very cockular. So, yeah, a new Starbarians cartoon coming out. I really thought it'd be this month, but it's going to be April. It's going to be April adjacent. It's going to be close. And yeah, I'll be back for another live stream soon. Everybody have a happy Easter if you celebrate.
Easter.
If you don't celebrate, have an unhappy Easter. Or Eastmas. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon. So I'm going to say goodbye to everyone whose name I can read within the next 38 seconds. Goodbye Zero, goodbye Beanlight, goodbye Arch Hippie, Mr. Common Oddity, Noise, Liam Hart, Savy Yun, Terrainy Yum, Animated Taco, Harry Ashfield, Kano Horo, Cockenheimer, Mage Burger, Arch Hippie, GNAM97. Hey, thanks for all the likes coming in. You know, the likes help me. They're going to help me buy that Lamborghini made of lint. Rutger Gullen, Beanlight, again, if I didn't say your name already. Special Fish Simon, Mage Burger, Killer Quality, Sam Gay. Copycat Memes, it's been a long time, Copycat. Hey, welcome back to the streams. Gotta have memes if you're having streams. Mega Pussy, Jacob Tucker, and Tyler Comio. I'm sorry, I still can't say your name, Tyler. You're gonna have to spell it for me phonetically. Dr. Yusha as well. Alright, everyone, I'm heading off. Joyce is gonna stay on and stream for another 9 hours.
No.
You can see her on her Flight Simulator streaming channel.
It would just be sad with fights, man. Just be with sad notes next to every in between, being like, "Why was this made so detailed?
Yeah.
Why did you do this?"
Mage Burger, I didn't mean to give you 2 mentions. I'm sorry. Please take away 3 of those. And everyone, you have a great rest of your day. We're heading out. Bye bye.
Good night.
Bye. Finally, the stream's ended. I can talk about Dr. Yusha.
I can use my real voice.
I can Joyce transforms. Now I can finally criticize Dr. Yusha at great length. I'm kidding, of course. Thank you, everyone. We love you. And you too, Dr. Yusha. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Finally, the stream's over. I can criticize Jacob Tucker.
I can use my real voice.
Okay, really going now. Bye.
Bye.